Hi guys, I've had a couple of emails recently of people asking me about my thoughts and beliefs around what makes a good manager or a good leader. And to do this, I'm going to share an actual real life example that happened to me a number of years ago when I was a contractor in the corporate space. Now, I was seconded to a project that had already been running for 3 or 4 months or so. It was clearly very high pace, very aggressive timeframes. And as soon as I joined that project, not only did I recognise that the workload was absolutely hideous, what was going to be the biggest challenge about it was the atmosphere and the culture that was happening. So, for example, and I saw this happen a number of times, if you asked a question, you were basically seen as an inconvenience. If somebody didn't understand something first time, it was because they weren't paying attention. If somebody was maybe struggling with concentration because they worked till 3 in the morning, then they were seen as weak. And this culture just created this really high anxiety, really stressful. People were in tears in the toilets. A couple of people got taken off work with stress. And it almost just this expectation for everybody just to be robotic and just keep ploughing on. And I think that actually became a hindrance to the actual project. Now, in reflection, what I think would have been an absolute game changer would have been if one of the leadership team had brought the project team together and said something along the following. Okay guys, I know this is going to be really stressful. We've got a high-paced project with aggressive timeframes and I can sense a lot of anxiety in the air. I'm feeling it too. There's going to be lots of change, there's going to be lots of different curveballs that are thrown in, and it's going to be very easy for us to create a blaming culture, but I'm not going to allow that because we're all in this together. Fundamentally, we've got a lot of pressure on our shoulders, we're all feeling the strain, but we still need to somehow pull out the bag some of our best work that we possibly can right now. So what I need to get from you is what you need from the management team, what you need from the project team, and what do you think are the main things that might stop you from sharing the things that you really want to say. Now, had somebody come forward and said something like that, I believe it would have been an absolute game changer. And the reasons why I believe that would have been inspiring are the following examples I'm about to give. So first of all, number 1, listen to others as you intend to be heard. If you want to get the most out of your team and you want to have people listen to you, you must offer the same back. You must listen to other people's views and opinions and how they're feeling, as well as what the workload is and what they have to do from a deliverable point of view. Tip number 2, create a safe environment. And when I say safe, I don't mean physically safe. I'm not suggesting there's going to be any fistcuff or whatever, like some actual fight break out in the office. But when I say safe, I mean a mentally safe environment where people feel confident to speak out without the fear of being ridiculed, rejected, or punished. By doing that, you're going to get a much more engaged and connected team. And tip number 3, be willing to be vulnerable. Now, a lot of people misunderstand vulnerability for weak. You can be brave and vulnerable at the same time. For example, do you think a fireman runs into a house that's on fire to save a child and not feel an ounce of vulnerability? Of course they feel vulnerability, but they're still being brave. Now, this can be transferred into the corporate space as well. To be vulnerable basically means be willing to be open about how you're feeling, open about what strain you're feeling, but also still staying accountable and responsible for the fact that you're leader of that particular situation. I hope that's helpful. If you're a leader and you struggle with these types of things, then please do feel free to drop me a direct message and we can have a call about it. Maybe you're somebody that's in a project and you're struggling with your leadership team and we can talk around best ways to manage that. If you like this, please give me a quick like. If you think it will help other people, please share it, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.